All right. So welcome everyone. There's still a couple of people joining us. So happy Friday. We are going to go talk about Flex and just give you an overview, and we're available for questions. I did just want to mention that I am at Mesa College and Carla is at CE. So if there's some questions that you may have that may be pertaining to Mesa, you can put them in the chat. We'll monitor the chat. We'll go back and forth between us. And then if you are good, then you can just go along as we go through each slide. So Carla, did you want to go over the agenda or do you want me?
I can go over the agenda. Hi,
Thank
everyone. Again, my name is Carla Grossini Concha. I am from the San Diego College of Continuing Education. Today, we're going to go over, first, we're going to hit on introductions. We're going to talk about the purpose of Flex, guidelines for Flex, navigating the Flex portal. We'll talk a little bit about independent projects. We had CBA update in there, but there's not too much on that right now. So we might just skip over that one and go straight into questions. So that is it for what today's going to look like. Let's go ahead. Thanks, Jean. So let's get started with something very exciting. What word comes up for you when you think about Flex? And so here is you can either scan it with your phone. We'll drop a link in the chat too with the Mentimeter link. But if you want to drop in what comes up for you, what word comes up for you when you think about Flex, then we can interact a little bit and see what everybody's thinking about. Great, thanks for dropping into chat.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me share this real quick.
I can stop sharing just for a moment, Carla, if you need.
Yeah, I just wanted to share the link for this. So let me grab it real quick, just in case you haven't had a chance to put it in the Mentimeter. Here is the link for it. There we go. Oop. Obligation. Bummer. Kurt, we're going to try that, turn that a little bit around today, but it's also okay. We can have sort of negative feelings about it. So let me share real quick if I did get any responses. Okay. View results. Okay, so it looks like no one did the Mentimeter, and that's okay. Actually, let me see. No results yet. Interesting. Okay, well, something's going on with Mentimeter, but luckily all of you participated in the chat. So, oh, weird. Okay. So folks put education, obligation. We'll figure out what's going on with the link. Great professional advancement opportunities, something different, interesting classes. Yeah, awesome. As you can see, there's a wide response in a wide variety in the responses that we get from Flex. So the point of today is to really make it a lot easier and accessible for y'all and to understand different ways that Flex can support you in your position as an instructor at the district. So a little bit about me. My name is Carla. My pronouns are she, her, and ella. I have been the Flex coordinator at CE since fall of 2022. I was previously in college, and actually Dr. Janae Johnson was my mentor and someone that I look to for information and knowledge and all things around professional development and Flex. So I'm so grateful I get to present with her today. I'm originally from New York. My parents are from Peru, and I really do love professional development. It is my jam. So that's a little bit about me. Janae.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Carla. She always says the nicest things. I appreciate you. So my name is Janae Johnson. As you can see, it's spelled uniquely, but it's basically just like saying Renee with the J. And I've been at Mesa. I started here in June of 2017. And so I was previously at Hampton University. I was the director of online there and associate dean for the College of, they called it University College, but it was a College of Continuing Education. And I'm originally from Oakland, California, where I grew up, but I did a little moving when my kids were young to go back to school, and then eventually was able to return to California here in San Diego. And I love professional learning because for so many reasons, but also because I get to continuously learn along with the offerings that we may provide to our campus, but also to just attend other events so that I can bring them back to Mesa. So it's a wonderful day to meet all of you.
So first off, I want to thank this collaboration with Janae because it gets to bring us across the district to have folks from Mesa and CE, which I really enjoy seeing you all and having an idea of what everybody teaches across our colleges. So, okay, so from guidelines for the implementation of the flexible calendar program, which is what we get from the state, and then what our district offers us. Next slide, please. We are told that the purpose of the flexible calendar program is to provide time for faculty to participate in development activities that are related to staff, student, and instructional improvement. So sometimes if folks reach out to us to find out if a workshop or something they're doing independently can be qualified as a flex activity, then I'll refer them to these Title V guidelines. The flexible calendar program is a component of the staff development program, and it's a major vehicle for faculty participation in development activities. So the flex calendar program allows faculty, full-time, part-time, instructional, and non-instructional, the time to work individually or with groups to achieve improvement in 3 distinct areas. Again, that's staff improvement, student improvement, and instructional improvement. We put a picture of our instructional improvement handbook. And Janae, I think we have a link in the notes. Let me find it real quick and I can drop it in the chat that has the direct link for this so we can share with you all where to find it and how to go back to that one. If I can grab it real quick.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I think because I'm in the presenter view, I'm not sure how to.
No worries. Yet worries. I know I'm not that helpful with not having 2 screens today. So let me drop that in the chat. And this is a good space to, this link and this handbook is good just to be able to refer to. If you do a simple Google search on, if you do a simple search even on the SDCCD page for Flex Handbook or Flex Guideline, you'll find it. So there is a link in the chat so you can go back to if you want to check it out. Next page, please. Next slide. Okay. So I'm going to talk specifically for my SDCCE folks because the 4 credit colleges and unfortunately our SDCCE as a non-credit institution function a little bit different. So for SDCCE, we are allowed 5 flex days per academic year. We get 3 in the fall. So that's convocation day and 2 flex days. And then we're given 2 in the spring, which we know is spring institution day, and then 1 more flex day. So during those flex days, we attempt to offer you a variety of activities that include events around course instruction and evaluation, staff development, in-service training and instructional improvement, program and course curriculum or learning resource development and evaluation, student personnel services, learning resource services, any related activities such as student advising, student orientation, matriculation services, student faculty and staff diversity, departmental meetings, conferences, workshops, institutional research, and then sort of other duties as assigned by the district. So you'll know some of folks that are adjunct are able to receive even like our Keenan sexual harassment as they're allowed to have that as flex too. So that's what we mean by other duties as assigned by the district. And then any of the necessary supporting activities for what we just talked about. I did want to mention things like, obviously on convocation afterwards, we have at CE, we have our program and department meetings. Those are all flex activities. Your department and program meetings throughout the year are flex activities. I know that at CE specifically, we're doing a lot of work around how to serve our undocumented populations. Those are all flex activities. So we really give you a wide range of things to be able to participate in. Yes, it is a real focus on instruction, but ultimately, as we are a student serving institution, we really want to be able to figure out how best to take care of our students. So for deadlines, and they're all available, all this information is in that link, that handbook that I placed in the chat, the link in the chat. And so we have deadlines for flex. As an adjunct instructor, you have two deadlines in the academic year. You have a fall deadline and you have a spring deadline. If you are a contract instructor, you only have the one at the end of the year, so in the spring. So SDCCE for the fall, your deadline is January 12th to have all your flex done for the fall. And you have, for the spring semester, both adjuncts and faculty have to complete their spring flex obligation by May 26th. And that includes any workshops you've attended, independent workshops and everything. And specifically, if you have questions about your obligation, which it's a lot easier now than when I first created this presentation, at CE, it's approximately, if you're adjunct instructor, it equates to however many hours of courses you are teaching a week is approximate to the amount of hours of flex you have for that semester. So if you're teaching 7 hours a week, then you'll have about 7 hours of flex for each semester. If you're topping out at 15 or 17 hours, you will have about that for each semester. But I did put the contact information for our incredible instructional support analyst, another Janae. I love Janae's at Janae Patton at sdccd.e.
Thank you. Thanks, Carla. So as Carla shared, a lot of what CE may have as guidelines is similar to what Mesa has as a credit college, but I'll just highlight some of the differences. And so for a Mesa or for 4 credit colleges, for example, if you're at Miramar City as well, full-time contract faculty with the 1.0 FTE complete 10 hours of flex activities each semester. So it's a total of 20 hours per year. And so again, all of those activities are very similar. They're the same, course instruction, evaluation, staff development, program and course curriculum, and so on and so forth. The deadlines are actually slightly different as well. So if you notice for fall, if you're an adjunct faculty or part-time faculty, the deadline to submit your flex and to meet that obligation is December 15th at 12 p.m. and then 12 noon. And then in spring, it's May 26th at 12 noon. And the way that we have done it at Mesa is during fall, we have a flex week activity. So we have programming from that Monday and Tuesday. Sometimes that Wednesday, we have fall convocation. And then we have a large array of programming that we share. So I'm going to put something in the chat for Mesa. And I just want to mention this as well. So if you do access that link, and as CE, you're also welcome to access it to take a look as well. There's a link to Never Stop Learning, which is our newsletter. And on there, we list a lot of the external professional learning activities. Sometimes we assign flex to those, or sometimes they're provided by the district. So you'll see flex in there as well. But through Mesa, we have something called Teaching Tree. And in Teaching Tree, you can access self-paced activities. And then sometimes I'll share through email to the campus community about some other self-paced flex activities that we sometimes offer someone, for whatever reason didn't attend flex week and things of that sort. So there's a lot of opportunities and ways for you to reach flex or to obtain your flex obligation. And I think we do talk a little bit about what happens if you don't meet your flex obligation, but I wanted to just mention that there's that throughout the semester, we send things out so that you can obtain flex and make sure you meet your obligation. And again, for full-time faculty, it's 20 hours for the year. They are not usually required to meet that 20 hours by the end of the fall, but they are by the end of the spring. But part-time faculty must meet their obligation by semester. And that is usually, if you look in your profile, which we'll get to, you can see how many hours you may need to get into. So we're going to go into that. So let's navigate the Flex portal, and Carla and I will switch off, but she can talk a little bit about workshop registration, which is very similar, but we'll also just navigate you with understanding that there may be a difference between where you log in at.
Yeah. So the CE Flex website, you can access either going through PeopleSoft and finding that link where it says faculty and Flex, or you can go drop in directly by, I'll put the link for the CE Flex portal in the chat. So again, the CE Flex portal and the District 4 Credit College Flex portals are different. So Miramar, City, and Mesa all operate under the same portal, and CE operates under a different portal, which, if anybody gets confused, if you see Flex opportunities that are either sent out by the district or one of the colleges, you'll see that it'll say CE Flex portal and then like Flex portal ID numbers. So that is why sometimes if you attend a Flex session that is hosted by one of the 4 credit colleges or even the district, sometimes they forget, they will give you a Flex number, and you might not be able to find that in the CE Flex portal. So if you can't find it, let me know. I may already have a CE Flex number assigned for it, or if not, we can create one. So all right, so when you enter the Flex portal, this I did screenshots of what this looks like, right? So actually, Janae, if you can back up just one. So you're going to want, so along the top tabs, right, you have your welcome, guidelines, which is a great space, again, to be able to find that Flex handbook information. And it'll give you the dates of when Flex is due. It'll give you information about independent projects. So basically, all of the questions that you might have, all the answers that you might be looking for might be there. Then there's the workshop registration, which is what we're talking about now. And that is where you're going to click on in order to register for workshops. So we'll go to the next slide. Thank you, Janae. Okay, so when you click on the workshop registration tab, it will bring you to a page and it will give you a list of, in chronological order, workshops that are available. So it'll list on the left-hand side the workshop ID number. It'll have the title. It'll tell you the location. And for CE folks, sometimes we just default to ECC. And I want to be clear that sessions that are available at CE Mesa, North City, and CE Miramar are actually lumped under the classification of North City as a campus. So sometimes that can be a little confusing, but just wanted to clarify that. We have the start date, end date, which is usually the same unless it's a year long or for several weeks. It'll tell you the meeting days, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. For Thursday, it's R, and then Friday, but everything else is just the corresponding initial. The date and the meeting day, the date and the time. So you can also see that there's a maximum number of seats. So that's something that we put in based off of maybe the room size. It can tell you how many people's enrolled. It also tells you how much Flex credit you're able to get. So basically 1 hour of Flex is 1 hour session is equal to 1 hour of Flex credit. So you can also do a search if you already have the number of a Flex session from an email that you've gotten. You can do a search right in that top right workshop ID little, what is that called? The word is the little box, right? The little search tool. You can use that, put that directly in, and then go straight to it. So next page. So then once you have.
Where was the search tool?
Okay, so we'll go back for Lynn real quick, Janae. So the search tool is, if you're just doing a search by workshop numbers, Lynn, you would put the workshop number in that. You see where the arrow's over right now that Janae's sort of hovering over?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, that is where you would put the number and then you would hit go, okay? So basically when let's say that you wanted to register in one of these sessions right here, like unlocking online accessibility, that 361291, you would go over to the right and you would see where it says enroll over on the right-hand side of that session. And you would click on it, enroll, and then you would add it. Okay, does everybody see that? Okay, so then next up is a sort of tricky thing. And Janae, I don't know if the Mesa folks have issues with this, but sometimes I get a lot of questions. I registered for this workshop, now I can't find it. I don't see it. Well, it's because it's in your contract now. You've added it in there. So now in order to access it, you have to be going into your contract. So remember, once you sign up for a session, it can only now be found in your contract. So now we go into your contract. And I think we have got it on the next one. Now you'll see that I added a session and it's sitting in my contract. So once you have added your workshop into your contract and you've attended it, like today, after you attend it, you need to go back into the Flex portal, whichever Flex portal it is, log back in, go into your contract and submit your attendance, okay? So right there where it's circled and where Janae is hovering around, you need to put it as attended. You click yes, and then at the bottom, there is a submit button and you will submit that. And then you have essentially self-reported your attendance to Flex. Next slide. Yes, the text box. Thank you, Rob. Sometimes words don't work for me. So Janae, you got independent projects.
Thank you, Carla. So, and also I wanted to add, if you have sorry, I was trying to switch it so that if Carla was not talking, then it would, I moved it. Let's see. Okay, so there we go. So if you have sometimes people will go to a Flex and then it'll expire on the day or right after the Flex workshop ends. And so sometimes people may not know this, but if you, for whatever reason, you didn't enroll or you went to the workshop and then you try to get into the workshop after it happened, we can add you retroactively. So if you emailed me or in this other case, if it's Carla, we can enroll you and you don't have to worry that, oh, I went, but I wasn't able to enroll on time to get the credit for it. So if that ever happens, you can email me, you can email Carla, and we can enroll you retroactively. Okay. Okay, so independent projects. So independent projects must be related to Title V activities. I'm curious if some of you may have done this, and if you haven't, here's some information for you. And so an independent project looks slightly different when you submit it. So let's see if I can go back. So I don't think we have a screenshot for it. Oh, here it is. So here it is. So when you go in, and this is the CE portal, but it's very similar to a Mesa portal. So independent projects, when you submit an independent project, what you want to do is provide some information in the description. So when you open that tab, you want to make sure that it's an activity that is submitted within a certain time frame. There's a specific deadline. So here we don't have the deadline, but it is fall independent projects are submitted early before the actual December 15th deadline for this. And I'll put the updated deadline in the chat. And then spring independent projects are also submitted a little earlier than the May 26th date. And so when you submit that project, it's an activity that an individual faculty uses to enhance the quality and effectiveness of their instructional knowledge or skill. And so you would be required to self-report an independent project. And so what I do as a Flex coordinator is I review the submissions. And what I do is I just look at what the submissions are. For example, sometimes faculty may do office hours that are outside of the actual office hours they're already offering. And so that would be considered eligible for an independent project. Sometimes faculty attend conferences and they want to share what that conference did, how it enhances their professional practice, or how it supports students. Those are the key things that I look for in the description. And so, for example, sometimes there may be, and this may sound silly, but like someone going to a yoga retreat, right? And so I would not, I would follow up with them and just say, if this sounds amazing. However, can you please articulate in the description how it is supporting students or how it is professional learning for you and supporting your professional practice? And so just keep in mind when you submit these that they align with what the Flex Handbooks outlines as eligible activities, and also just adding a couple of sentences about how it enhances you as a professional or how it supports students. And so when you go into the portal, this is something that sometimes happens. Sometimes someone may have the independent project and it may be saved, right? And so then I may not be able to view it. So sometimes I've received emails and they say, you have not reviewed my project, but sometimes you have to make sure that it's submitted. Once it's submitted, what it'll say is in process. And when it says in process, that means that maybe Carla or myself, we have not had a chance to input it. So when we do review it, and if we input it, what will then happen is you would receive an email, an automatic email that'll tell you that the project was input. And so once the project is then input, then you would go in and complete it. And so when you select complete, then it will update into your profile for the amount of hours that you submitted the independent project for. So so here is how this looks. There's a drop-down menu. There's a title, the start end date, the amount of hours, and you have 1,000 characters. Generally, I see, short paragraphs. Sometimes if someone just places a sentence or it's just not enough information, sometimes what I'll do is I will cancel the project and then I'll email them and ask them to resubmit it, making sure that they address the criteria that is outlined in the handbook. And I'll give them that template. And then if they need additional support, I'll just ask them to let me know how I can support them so that they can provide the information within the independent project. And then if they resubmit, then I'll go back in and I will input it so that they can receive credit for it. The only other thing that I would mention is that, like I said, sometimes just make sure you submit it, and then also that you submit it by the deadline. So as a flex coordinator, when the deadlines occur, we have to pull a report. So when we pull that report, if if someone submits after that report, then we don't have, even if you submitted it the next day, we have to just give you other options to complete it, because the district also runs a report. And so we want to make sure that we're consistent with the report that they have. And so if, at Mesa, if there's ever an issue, what we do is then we address those individually and just say, oh, can you please look at some of these other options? Sometimes what I do is I will tell the person that they can keep it in the portal until the next semester, and then I can make sure that the credit that they want to receive is then just rolled into the next semester if for whatever reason it was submitted after the deadline. So now we can have questions, and these are just QR codes so that you can reach us and book time with us if you just have other questions. But we'll open it up. I'll stop sharing my screen, and I will even put my email in the chat. So that's another way that you can reach me. And this is for a survey, but I'll share that right before we actually close out. So let me stop my share. and I'll throw some deadlines in the chat, and then I will open it up for questions.
Yeah, so I have a question from Rob in the chat. I forgot to add a flex hour class in September payroll. Can I add it on any day this month, or do I lose that? Rob, you're actually going to add it into your payroll, and Janae and I don't handle the payroll side of that but it's a business office support service function, but I do know the answer to this one. So you're gonna put it into your September hours, but you're gonna have to do a timesheet edit request. So it's going to be a manual thing. You're going to have to reach out to Rocio Lopez from our business office support services. Rocio Lopez or Jared Bosernio. I'm going to put their names in the chat, and you'll reach out to them to let them know that you did not put a flex hour in your timesheet from September, and they'll give you the exact same explanation, hopefully maybe a little bit better worded, and then they're going to give you a document. It's just a quick PDF for you to put those hours in, sign off on it, and that's it. But let me get those names for you and put it in the chat real quick.
Okay, so I also see there's a couple of questions about actually viewing it. I know that we've been transitioning to like single sign-on. So let's see, I know that it could be a little different. So let me pull that up 1 second.
Okay, and I know that we already answered this question for Pele, but so just to clarify again, Janae is the Flex and PD coordinator for Mesa, and I'm the PD coordinator for CE. And again, we have different systems. So if you do need support with the 4-credit system, then you can reach out to Janae. And then if you need support for CE system, then you can reach out to me.
Okay, so for
Perfect.
the question about this going into the portal, let's see, I hope it doesn't give me too many things. So for here, if we go into log into my SDCCD, hold on, maybe it went to home.
Is this the one that Lauren had mentioned?
Yes, so this, I did this the other night because I usually, so I'm already logged in because I'm logged into my my Microsoft 365. So if I then go into my college faculty dashboard, and can you all see this okay? And then see here is where Flex is. And so for 4-credit or for Mesa, this is the page that you'll see. So you see for City, you see me as for Mesa, and then Alan for Miramar. And so if I wanted to go to workshop registration, then I would put in my information. Sorry, it's going a little slow.
It's an old system.
It's telling me to reset my password.
Oh,
sorry. Yeah, I don't know. It's giving me. I did it on my other computer, but for some reason I have trouble.
I think it's been giving a lot of folks some issues, so I'm not sure what's happening, but hopefully they'll be able to figure it out soon.
But to answer some of your questions, what I can do, and I'll stop sharing the recording.